Welcome to Mexico. We're in Cancun. No, actually Playa Carmen. So we came by bus from Merida because it's actually quite cheap and very straightforward. We took the luxury bus, which is always super spacious, but you don't have to. We just chose to because just in case, like, the basic buses were really shit. I was like, you know what, it's not that big of a difference. So it was nice. It even had TV, but it was all in Spanish and there was no translation. There's a lot of taxis outside, so you take a taxi. Ours was like a 5-minute ride and it was 250 pesos, so 10 euros, pounds, whatever. So it's not too expensive. We get to the hotel. It's 3 p.m. or almost 6, so we're probably gonna get changed and go to the beach. That's the update. So we found the snack bar, so we got the food, and honestly,
Kind of shit ever.
it is kind of sad, but at least it's free. The first day was obviously spent at the beach, relaxing and getting to know what we actually paid for. So they had free ice cream, so that was really nice, and looking at the local animals. So our friendly little rat. So the next day was, of course, also spent at the beach. We were also joined at the result by my best friend, who was also invited to the wedding. It was honestly so nice to reunite after being apart for so long, and she had arrived just the night before. We had paid for an all-inclusive hotel, which included buffet meals. However, the first few days, or the first night and afternoon, the food wasn't really that good for me. I didn't really like it. However, still ate it and still enjoyed it, still made the most out of the day. And it was honestly so relaxed. It was a much needed rest from the city hustle and bustle that we were doing non-stop for the first 7 days. Okay, so I just got this underwater case thing. I just hope the plastic doesn't reduce the quality too much, but as long as it's clean, it should be fine, right? It's 7 a.m. We need to go to Chichén today at 7:30, so we need to have breakfast before then to make sure we're not starved, because we don't actually know when we're eating next. There's no time. And what rat? Oh, it's actually alive. So for this trip, we actually decided to book 2 full-day excursions, and we would be picked up from our hotel and taken to those places. The only thing we didn't realize is that it was literally easier to do it from Merida, where we were last, than to do it from here, but that's a whole other story. We survived. How'd you feel?
Did we? It's 3 hours one way. I should have stayed in the resort.
Yes, we booked a day trip without knowing how long the bus journey would be. It wasn't written on the brochures and we didn't Google, so it is on us. Regardless, we were actually joined by some more friends who are also invited to this wedding. They're also in Cancun at the same time as us, but they're staying in different locations. But we decided to do this day trip together, so that was really fun. During the bus ride, we had a tour guide that was explaining to us a lot of things and educating us about the culture, the history, making sure we would know how to respect the culture and also break down the agenda for the day. So that was really fun and made the trip go by so much more smoothly. Guys, I would be lying to your face if I said this first half of the trip went smoothly. First of all, it wasn't at all. Actually, not even just this half. This whole thing was kind of off because the only thing that we actually paid for and we got was the Chichén Itzá, and everything else wasn't really what we paid for, which we were really upset about because it was just so random and also a bit of a tourist trap, which really pissed us off. But besides that, it was still a really good experience to be with everyone and we still really enjoyed it. We finally made it to Chichén Itzá. Chichén Itzá. I don't even know how to say it actually, guys, but it was so beautiful and it felt so unreal because it's something you read so much about, but it feels weird to be there. Last thing I would add is that it was super freaking hot, and of course we were exposed to the sun and we were dying. So if you're coming to this place during summer or warm weather, do bring something to protect yourself, like an umbrella, something big, because we were freaking sweating.
Wait, do it again? That's better. Wow. You're really good. Is it higher or lower than my head? Higher. But to the sides. Just a breakdown of our day so far. The first half of our day, definitely a fucking scam, tourist trap. And it's not even part of like the tour we actually booked. And then we did like a chocolate, like cacao tasting. I'm like, that was not cacao.
That was not cacao.
Like, the best description is like, they have their local products that they make and you taste to buy. So I'm like, it was all like a bit of a touristy trap, so it was a bit disappointing in that sense. Oh yeah! Okay, don't squeeze on video. Like the snake heads, where are they? But basically, it's definitely a tourist trap kind of thing. And then we came here, and honestly, like it feels so unreal, but it feels like fake. And after this is Cenotes. We arrived to the Cenotes. We need to go and swim. We have an hour.
This cenote was absolutely impressive because it was super deep underwater. The others probably have been, but this one is visibly deep and it's a literal hole, and that is so crazy. And I just love how it looks, how it feels. It was just so beautiful. Honestly, I was just panicking the whole time because we didn't really have anyone telling us how deep it was, but I just assumed it was fucking deep because you can see shit underneath our feet. And I tried looking, but it gave me anxiety, so I stopped. But honestly, such a beautiful place, and I just fell in love. I just loved it. It wasn't my favorite per se because there was no guide and it just felt so disconnected, but it is definitely on the top. Honestly, all the cenotes are great. Like, who am I kidding, guys? Like, just fucking go. Wow, breathtaking.
Mexico.
Something we actually learned in one of our tours is that there's certain trees that you typically find around cenotes because they're the type of trees that have extremely long roots, and we go down into the cenotes to find water. So that is how some cenotes are found, and that is what we're witnessing there.
So Masha,
Bitch.
experience.
It was good. It was relaxing. However, where's the second cenote?
Okay, but this in this current plan, out of 10.
Out of 10?
Without in general.
Compared to the first one, or just
Just in general.
A solid 7?
7. Okay. Out of 10.
9.
9 out of 10.
He's lost.
The
cenote.
cenote.
Out of 10.
8.
Okay. Out of 10, the cenote.
Ok, parce que c'était pas le bon.
Expensive.
Non, mais l'expérience.
Still expensive.
The experience. Out of 10.
Mais avec cette sorte de qualité, oh, là je prends pas.
C'était pas le bon cénoté. Hein.
Le cenote, ça, non?
Si.
Bah, moi, je dirais 4.
Oh, surtout. Elle monte chaud chaud.
Parce que si j'ai pas le bon cenote, ça perd des points.
On avait que des bons.
Ouais, j'étais un peu dur.
Mais
bon, allez.
c'est tout. Juste, ouais. C'est censé faire 2. Marcia aussi, il était comme ça. Mais elle a pas dit 4. Elle a dit 7.
Bah, ouais, on était censé avoir 2 cenotes, je passais 1 heure, non, je sais pas.
Ouais.
Et puis c'était pas censé être...
une note.
Ok, bon bah
6. I would say just a cenote. Like 7. It's a vibe.
Okay, so let's actually talk about what we paid for. So I paid 84.5 euros or pounds. Honestly, looking back and genuinely thinking about it, is really affordable compared to what you'd be paying in Europe for this type of tour, fully included. So 10 out of 10 for the price offering. Most of the things were included. So we had round trip, bilingual tour guide. Yes, we had the lunch stuff included. We had water nonstop all the time for every stop. We did have certified guides for the activities that we were doing, except the cenotes, which I think was really big shame because I think it's really interesting to understand the cenote history a bit better. Sombria. Oh, we didn't get the sombrillas for the archaeological zone, which is something I said about like the heat and stuff. And guys, when I tell you that I actually really like the pack because of the sombrillas, I was mad, but we still live. And then we also like missed out on the cenote Itzá, I don't know how to say that, and then Siutun. Let's pretend I said that right as well. So it sounds super bad that we're just bitching about it because like it sounds ungrateful or like we're not appreciating the country or whatever, but we are, and we're all super happy that we went, and I think everyone freaking enjoyed it so much. However, we did pick these packages out of like 10s or 20 packages that we've received as like things that we could try and choose, specifically because we really like those cenotes. So yeah, that's why we were mad. And also it was only one instead of two, so it just felt like you did feel like a bit of we were getting scammed. However, let me explain something that I feel like is quite interesting about how they organize themselves. When you get picked up, you get picked up for like multiple different tours in one simple place. And then you go for the big tour bus, and each tour bus has like their itinerary and diary. And I think that it allows them to reduce costs, have the staff be paid like a good wage for the work that they do, or potentially, or so I hope. The way they do it, or like scam you, is by pushing you to visit cenotes that might not be as busy, allowing different tours and different buses to take their turn in the same place without being overcrowded. Also making sure that other cenotes are getting a good amount of visits. And like honestly, all the cenotes we went to were beautiful. I just felt like a bit sad that I was looking forward for one specific one and didn't get to see it, but it's not the end of the world, and you know, to this day I don't give a fuck, so maybe it's not that deep. Yeah.
Out of 10? So our bus just stopped and we're doing a small, like literally a 20-minute walk. A 20-minute walk around this area, and that's it. And it literally looks like Merida's church, which is like a bit cuter. Just 20 minutes, and then we have to hop back in the bus and head to the hotel. What time is it? The goggles are really nice. 7:10, 7:19, 7:20. We're up early because last time we were rushing. Yesterday was an interesting day because it's not what we paid for. Not in a good way. So all of us are like, bruh. Pork.
We waited for 30 minutes or something, and now we're switching buses. Yo! We went to Tulum and visited the archaeological site. It was a long way to get in, even though we had the tickets and we were with the tour guides, simply because there were just so many people around trying to get in as well. It was extremely hot, extremely sunny. I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't see shit half the time. And our tour guide, like the historical explanation, they were fine, but they weren't as in-depth or interesting as some of the other tour guides we were eavesdropping on. And another thing I will have to say is the guy was kind of like a creep. He was non-stop trying to hit on my friend, and it was just so creepy. A good thing he wasn't on our tour bus, but he was unfortunately part of one of the other tour buses that was kind of we were having synergies with. We had some activities together, so he was doing the cultural side of things for both teams, so that was a bit weird, but you know, still very fun and still stunning. Very nice experience regardless. After spending so much time melting under the sun, we were finally headed to the cenote to relax. Sadly for me, the cenote was actually cold water, so I missed out, but still really enjoyed the views and being around a very quiet area. The highlight of the trip was obviously snorkeling with these beautiful animals. We had a few rules, of course, no touching and staying away from the animals. However, the current was slightly stronger than imagined, or that you could feel it, and it kept pushing me towards the animals, and I was panicking every single time I got too close. But we survived, and so did the animals. One thing I would recommend is to always be mindful and careful about interacting with nature and anything that is wildlife, of course, to enjoy and make the most out of these unique experiences.